For years, people in this American town believed help was only one phone call away. They were wrong. The town was small, quiet, and surrounded by forests and highways that people passed through without stopping. It had a post office, a fire station, and a single emergency dispatch number shared with the county. Nothing about it seemed unusual until the call started. At first, it was just one. At 2:43 a.m., a woman called 911 reporting smoke coming from her neighbor's house. The dispatcher answered calmly, asked for the address, and then paused. There was a silence on the line. The dispatcher asked her to repeat the address. The woman did, again, silence. Finally, the dispatcher said something strange. "I'm not finding that location in our response grid." No fire trucks were sent. The house burned down completely. The neighbor didn't survive. The official report later said, "Delayed response due to routing error." People accepted it, mistakes happen. Then it happened again. At 8:11 a.m., a man collapsed inside a grocery store. Someone called 911. The dispatcher answered, confirmed the emergency, and said help was on the way. No one arrived. 22 minutes later, a patrol car from a neighboring town drove by chance and stopped. The man was already dead. This time, the report said, jurisdictional confusion. That phrase would appear again and again. Over the next 2 years, dozens of calls were made from the same town. House fires, car accidents, medical emergencies, domestic violence reports. Each time, something went wrong. Calls were misrouted. Addresses were not recognized. Units were unavailable. Sometimes responders arrived hours late. Sometimes not at all. What made it worse was this. When residents tested the system by calling 911 for non-emergencies, the calls went through perfectly. Only real emergencies failed. People started keeping records. One man logged every emergency call in a notebook. He wrote down dates, times, and outcomes. After 3 years, his list had over 40 incidents. He noticed a pattern. Every failed call was forwarded outside the town's boundaries before being dropped. As if the town existed on paper, but not in the system that mattered most. At 8:17 p.m. one evening, a family's house caught fire while their children were asleep upstairs. The mother called 911 screaming. The dispatcher answered. The call disconnected. She called again, disconnected. She ran outside and screamed for help while neighbors tried to break windows. 2 children didn't make it out. That night, the town changed. Residents demanded answers. They attended county meetings. They contacted state officials. They contacted the media. The responses were vague. Officials said the emergency system was under review. They said upgrades were coming. They said the town's coverage was complex. No one explained why. Then a former county IT contractor contacted a local reporter anonymously. What he revealed explained everything. Years earlier, the county had updated its emergency response software. During the update, several rural zones were accidentally removed from the active response grid. Fixing the error would have required shutting down the system statewide and admitting that emergency coverage had been broken for years. So the zones were left inactive, including the town. On paper, emergency services existed. In reality, the system ignored them. Every failed 911 call had been logged. Every death had been documented internally. But the reports were buried. The contractor said something chilling. They knew people would die. They just calculated it was cheaper than fixing the system. When the story was finally exposed, officials denied everything. Records disappeared, emails were deleted. The contractor vanished from public view. The town never received an apology. Instead, residents were quietly told to rely on neighboring towns, even though response times were over 30 minutes. Some people moved away, others stayed, knowing that if something went wrong, no one might come. Today, the emergency system officially lists the town as covered, but locals don't trust it. They don't call 911 anymore, they call neighbors. They keep fire extinguishers in every room, they sleep lightly, because they learned the truth the hard way. Sometimes help isn't delayed. Sometimes it was never coming. Stories like this don't always make the news because admitting them would mean admitting failure. If you want more real American stories that were ignored, buried, or quietly erased, subscribe to Dark Truth Stories and turn on the bell icon. More truths are coming, and some of them are darker than you think.